With Denver leaving and getting eliminated yesterday, obviously we have the Celtics, Pacers, Wolves, and Mavs. Somebody is going to win the NBA title, and one of those teams is going to have a young star on it. I mean, is it Jason Tatum, Tyrese Haliburton, Luka, Ant-Man? One of those is going to win this NBA title, and one of those is going to be a young superstar. Is that person going to be the new face of the league? And do we want that? Do we want a new face of the league? Number one, I'm going to raise my hand and say yes. I personally want a new face. That has nothing to do with I don't like LeBron. Y'all know I'm a LeBron fan. It doesn't mean I don't like KD. Doesn't mean I don't like Curry. I love all those guys. Y'all know me. I love basketball. I love good basketball. However, I think it would be fresh. There's a lot of basketball fatigue. There's a lot of LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. There's a lot of that fatigue out there. I think it would be good for young fans if there was a new face to the league. I don't disagree. I like that aspect of it. I think it's okay. I think it's okay that we have a new face. And I think if there's a new champion, I think that will be. I think now it's going to be tougher if it's Tyrese Haliburton because, look, let's just face it. It's Indianapolis. That's tough to be the face of the league in Indianapolis. Not as difficult, though, as being from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's tough there to be the face of the league. Not as tough in Boston, obviously not hard at all, and definitely not as tough being in Dallas. You know, DFW is the fourth largest metropolitan city in the country. So not as difficult there. But we're going to see. We are definitely going to see is what, what can happen, what can be done with a new face of this league. Will it be the new face of the league? Let me just pose that question to you guys. Do you think that it's going to be there will be a new face, whoever the champion is? Do we believe that they will take over? So, I kind of like these playoffs right now the way that they are. I mean, look, yeah, my man Ruben, I think now it's the best time. I'm not seeing them, Braun, Curry, KD, going on for longer than 3 years. By that time, Ant, Tatum, etc., will be in their prime. I agree. I think this is the perfect time for a changing of the guard. I think it's the perfect time for a changing of the guard in the NBA for there to be a new face of this league. I think it's a great time for that. And again, this is not a diss to LeBron or Curry or KD. This is not a diss to them. All this is saying, hey, the league is changing. You don't have to have a super team to win. We've seen that. So all you aging stars that are trying to put your teams together, you don't have to do that anymore. There's something to be said for building. Maybe you got to struggle for a couple of years. Maybe your team's got to struggle. But once you get it figured out, you don't have to have just this super team. You can build the super team through the draft, but it doesn't have to be three superstars on the same team. For instance, let's look at Boston. While we could say that Jason Tatum, I don't know if Jason Tatum's a superstar or not, but some people, for argument's sake, let's just say that he is. We know that Jaylen Brown isn't, and they don't have any other superstars on their team. They have really good players, maybe even stars, but no superstars. You look at Minnesota, same thing. Now, you could say that Dallas has two superstars. You could say they do. And because Kyrie definitely is, and so is Luka. So, yeah. But you look at the rest of their team, they're built and put together the right way. They complement them. So it's working. It's working. I like the way how they're doing things these days. So, but we'll see. I definitely like what Ruben has to say about it. It's time. It is definitely time. My man, Matt Hasselbring, since KD is washed, it's time for the younger guys to step up. I think everybody that's been in this chat remembers the day that the guy said that KD was washed. Lord have mercy. And I have never had a topic where everybody in here was against one person. I've never had one. I remember that day. That was hilarious. The guy trying to say that KD was washed. Well, hold on. He's averaging 27 points a game, shooting over 52% for the field. Washed. Lord have mercy. One of the dumber statements that I think I've ever heard anybody say. Washed. But it is what it is, man. But yeah, I think a new face. Like I said, it's tougher being from Indianapolis, playing out of Indianapolis. It's tougher in Minnesota, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see what will actually happen with it, though. I think Ant-Man has the personality. It wouldn't matter where he's at. I think he's got the personality to be the new face. Now, a little rough around the edges. Going to have to get somebody to speak to him a little bit. But I think we like rough around the edges somewhat. I think we like that. We can deal with it. So I think we love it. So I like that aspect of it. I really do. I like that aspect of it. Tyrese Haliburton, we'll see. He was talking trash to the New York Knicks fans yesterday after he was just knocking down shot after shot. And I know Luka's got the personality, but again, he's playing in Dallas. It's easier in Dallas than it is from Minneapolis or Indianapolis. It's going to be easier to be the face of the league. It's going to be easier. And definitely in Boston, but we'll see. Maybe Jason Tatum's not built for that. Did we ever think that? Do you ever think, hey, maybe Jason Tatum's just not built to be the face of the league? Because he's had his opportunities. Lord have mercy. Not to mention, did y'all hear what Draymond Green had to say about the Celtics? You know, y'all know me, I'm the president of the Draymond Green hater committee. But he was right. Nobody cares that the Celtics made it to the conference finals outside of Boston Celtics fans. And I would even say half of the Celtics fans, they don't care either. They're tired of going to the conference finals and losing. They want to see a championship. They were the best team this year. So we'll see. But yeah, new faces of the league, I like it. I definitely like it. I like David Gonzalez. Half the league would love to have a washed player like that. I don't even think half the league would. I think the whole league, every team would love to have, hey, man, I got this guy on my team, man. He's washed. He's averaging 27, shooting over 52%. But yeah, he can't play anymore. Well, I mean, we got to pay him, so we'll keep putting him out there. But yeah, he's washed. He's washed. Lord have mercy. People will say anything. So people will say anything. My man Austin thinks you can do it. I like that approach, Austin. What he says, Boston and Dallas are big markets. Indiana is a basketball state. And Minneapolis is big enough city. Plenty of superstar opportunity. I tend to agree. Like I said, it'll be tougher in Minneapolis. That's where the toughest part's going to be. People say, well, Indiana is a smaller state. It is, but it's basketball crazy. So it's basketball crazy. So it's not as difficult to be a superstar if you are the big guy man on campus in Indianapolis. For instance, if Michael Jordan didn't exist and the Pacers were going to finals instead of kept getting beat by the Bulls, Reggie Miller would have been the face of the NBA. He absolutely would have. Absolutely. Not to mention he was breaking hearts in New York. But if he was going to the finals, yeah, absolutely. But There was Michael Jordan around. So there's that. There, there's that. But I agree. I agree. Ant, here's a good question or a good statement. Ant is the easiest to make the face with his personality. Would nice to have a small market guy be the face. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I said, I like Ant-Man. I like his personality. I like his bravado. Little rough around the edges, but I think we like a little rough around the edges sometimes. I think we like that. I don't know that we can't live with that. 20 years ago, no. If you were rough around the edges, maybe even 10 years ago, people would have said, I'm turned off by that. I don't like that. And while you still get some people that say that, for the most part, people are like, hey, just be you and we'll adapt to it. Just be you and we still like you for being you. There's more people in this world that can accept people for who they are now than what they did 10 years ago. Regardless of what your circumstances are or what you like, this, that, or the other, there's more people now that will just, hey, man, yeah, we get it. He's a little rough around the edges, but I like that. Just go be yourself and we can deal with it. So we can deal with it. So who will it be? Number one, who do you want it to be? I guess that's a better question. Who do you want it to be? Me personally, and I am not a Timberwolves fan, not even in the slightest. I'm an Ant-Man fan. I would love if Anthony Edwards took the mantle. I would love if he took the mantle. Number one, for just what I said, he still makes some people uncomfortable because he's a little rough around the edges. I like that. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm the face. Be uncomfortable. Matter of fact, you better start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. I like that. I like that. Tyrese Haliburton, Luka, Jason Tatum. Yeah, man. Let's see some new blood come up. We haven't had any new blood come around in a long time that's been sustainable. The older guys are getting older. Their teams aren't as good. You know, people talk about the Lakers. The Lakers just didn't have a great basketball team. I think they were okay, but the Nuggets were better than them. Minnesota, better than them. You know, Phoenix. Minnesota's just better than them. There's a lot of teams that were better than Phoenix. Just better than their teams. I like the new blood is coming up. I like it. The Mavericks, same thing. I like what the Mavericks can do too. I would like this series better if Kleba wasn't hurt and hadn't destroyed his shoulder and out for the season. But I still like the Mavs. I like the Mavs, and I like the Pacers. I think we're in for a really good conference final. Not that garbage we got last year between the Nuggets and the Lakers. And although all the games were fairly close, there weren't really any blowouts, but the Lakers couldn't win one. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all can't win one? No, couldn't do it. Not even the game when LeBron went berserk last year and scored 40. The Lakers still couldn't figure out a way to win. I don't think that's going to happen this year in the conference finals on either side. I think we're going to be in for really good conference finals.